I'm Bruce Lewis from Remax by the Bay here in Portland, and to my right is Lili Richmond from Reliant Mortgage. The conversation we're going to have today is challenges that have been coming up in our market, Lili. I'm sure you know about that, but in particular, let me single out one of my customers. We called it the go-go days. It was easy to walk into a bank and walk out with a check, almost that simple. Today there are so many nuances that are going on in the mortgage business, and he came to me and said, my credit is great. I think his score is like 802, and I want to buy a second home for my son. And I seem to be having some problems with the local banks. Do you have any suggestions that would make it flow a little easier?
Well, you know, without question, Bruce, in today's economy, every single buyer needs to have his financial package in complete order. So that definitely is where we'll start. So we could also progress from there with me asking you a couple questions, or I could ask the questions directly to your client. Which would you prefer?
Well, I think my client is such, it's kind of a private individual. I've known him for years. It might help if you went to see him at his office and then all that is between you and he. Would that be fine?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. You know, that's what I enjoy so much working here at Remax, is that between Remax and Reliant, we have such a close partnership and value service to our customers with such high regard that it would be my pleasure to go to his office. That being said, tell me how I can make the most of his time. Can you tell me a little bit about his circumstances?
He owns an insurance company in town.
Okay.
They handle several carriers. I would say probably knowing him and his schedule, when we get together, mid-afternoon would probably be the best.
Okay.
And when you call in and the secretary answers, you know, just give them my name and they'll put you directly through to him.
Okay, sure. Now you mentioned that he was looking for a second home, and you mentioned that his circumstances were changing. I think when I saw you in the hall the other day, this is the unnamed client that you mentioned to me that you said was possibly going through a divorce and might have some changes in his financial structure.
You have a great memory. Yes, that's true. And it's an amicable divorce. You've heard of that before. But he feels that he wants to help his son out, who is not creditworthy at this point because he's just out of school. So he wants to buy him a home.
I see.
And he was wondering if his change in circumstances would be a hindrance, or could you overcome that?
Well, definitely, again, having his financial package in complete solid order is the key here. And again, now that you are more specific with me, what I present to him in our conversation will also be more specific. We've moved from the arena of him purchasing a second home to helping his son purchase a primary home, with the dad being a co-borrower or a non-occupant co-borrower. So that definitely gives me something to prepare for before our meeting. And you know, with his upcoming divorce or change in circumstances, I think what I'd like to do, if you could give me his seller's email, is contact him, introduce myself, ask him a few questions that would be appropriate to his financial changes. So that again, when I go in, I can provide him with the best options and service. What I like to do is to key in on an individual borrower's exact financial needs at any given time, so that when you start looking for them and with them, instead of them focusing on the financing, they can focus exactly on the properties that you choose.
That would be great.
Great.
As a little sidelight, we sold him the home he's in now, and they owe nothing on it, and he's buying her half, I guess is what you'd call it, his wife's half. And they've settled that. That's fine, just to give you a little upgrade.
Well, and you know, that really helps too, because that presents us with some financing options that perhaps
Sure.
reattach to his primary residence. So, you know, once again, so great to see you in the hall the other day, and thanks for this opportunity. Love being part of the team.
Great. I'll run into you again in the hall, I think.
I hope so.
Okay,
Thanks
great.
so very much.